strategic priorities has been to enhance technical education in Kansas through the alignment of specific technical programs to ensure the needs of business and industry are consistently met. With that, the program alignment model has four primary objectives. First, provide direct business and industry input regarding required and preferred technical skills needed, as well as program exit points matching employment opportunities for graduates. Second, to identify nationally recognized third-party industry recognized certifications. Third, to identify common and support courses within the program. And then fourth, to decrease the variability in program length. Over the past year, workforce development staff have identified several instances in which programs at individual institutions were not in compliance with all aspects of the approved program alignment. While staff has been working to address these issues with the colleges individually, it has been discovered that a number of institutions' programs that are out of alignment would require a more extensive system-wide correction. Examples of noncompliance with those approved alignments have included, but are not limited to, situations where program naming conventions and KEDS, college catalog and degree map, institution website, and marketing materials were not consistent, courses that are being utilized and considered aligned that are not aligned, and whether the industry recognized certifications are recommended or required. And those are just a few of the situations we've come across. So during individual discussions with the institutions regarding these program alignment issues, staff have identified previous procedural interpretations that were not well documented or applied consistently system-wide. So as a result of those discussions, staff recommend the following strategies to ensure technical program compliance with all aspects of the approved program alignments during the next year. So first, we would implement an institution program alignment verification. This is where all aligned technical programs and KEDS will be reviewed by the colleges for compliance with the current program alignment requirements. And this verification would open on October 1st. Keeping in mind that for a program to be in compliant with alignment requirements, the program structure, courses, and naming conventions must be consistent in the four following areas: the institution program inventory section in KEDS, college catalog and degree maps, institution website, and then any additional public-facing program information. So with this process, the presidents and academic vice presidents would be provided guidance documentation. There would be a webinar training and a program alignment verification spreadsheet that's listing aligned technical programs offered within their institution. Institutions would indicate via the KEDS institution program inventory section on that provided spreadsheet the individual aligned technical programs they offered which meet alignment and those which do not meet alignment. And that verification would close on March 1st, 2025. The second strategy would be a review by workforce development staff. Staff would then review each program in KEDS as well as current parameters regarding program alignment and make recommendations if necessary. Then when the institution program inventory is aligned, the workforce development staff would manually update the new alignment data field that's in KEDS for each program and award level. Third would be an annual program realignment submission. So moving forward after this initial verification process, institutions would be required to have all program alignments for the current academic year completed in KEDS by July 1st annually. This is to be completed before the annual academic year data collection. The fourth strategy would be an annual program alignment presidential acknowledgement letter. This letter would be submitted on August 1st annually with a listing of all aligned technical programs the institution offers, which have been marked as not meeting program alignment for the academic year. This letter would acknowledge that the institution has chosen to not meet alignment for those specific programs. And then finally, the results of the verification process would be provided to the TEA in September 2025. So the proposed institution program alignment verification project has been reviewed by board staff and is recommended for approval by the Technical Program and Curriculum Committee. And with that, I would stand for any questions.
Crystal, I don't have any questions. I was just curious about the timeline. Seems like a lot of time.
Well, and the reason why we were doing that is with the number of programs, and since this is going to be something additional, as a full program review for verification, we want to make sure they have enough time to go out and not only look in KEDS, but check their websites. Go and check and see that any of the documents that they have on their websites or that they're handing out to students, that those things are all in alignment. It's not just KEDS, which is where really a lot of the alignment check has been taking place in the past. And so that's where some things have been missed, that maybe a website hasn't been updated and the program title on the website doesn't match the actual program title in KEDS, for example.
Okay.
So with that, that's why we wanted to give a lot of extra time this first round. So there's a really thorough review, and then it'll just be an annual process. And so hopefully after this first time, it's kind of a clean slate, everybody's starting fresh. And then the only time they would really have to make major changes would be, of course, if they were changing some of their courses or whatnot, or if they were starting a new program or adding a different exit point, things like that.
Crystal, I was going to ask if you had the opportunity to run this past Ben or the North Central Kansas. I know Northwest Tech, North Central Kansas going through this program with alignment on a lot of them. Might be a good opportunity to get their feedback on what issues they saw coming up on their alignment process.
Okay, that's a good suggestion. We had not brought it to their attention. I know in some of the individual discussions we've had with other colleges, we have had discussions. This also was something that was brought to the attention of the Perkins coordinators in the annual training. So it could be that they've already discussed it internally with their own staff, because it has been brought to all of the college's attention at that Perkins training at the beginning of August.
Member Hess, I would just add, because of some of the changes that they have been making, this is a conversation I know that I've had with folks at North Central, maybe not at Northwest, but personally I have at North Central with some of the updates that they've been working on.
Okay, that's great. I just thought of that. I sat on one of the committees for, I don't know, about 6 months, and it seemed like something popped up every week.
So just so I have the timing right. So this review, again, starting in October of 24, this will be for fiscal year 26, right? The results of this process.
Yeah, it would be technically academic year 2025. So when that due date comes in March, it would be that they need to have all of their programs for academic year 2025 already entered into the system. It's not that uncommon for us to already see colleges doing these in advance. Like, we already see some in there for 2025. But it would just be making sure that all of the in the program inventory for 2025 would be updated.
But specifically for like the fall of 25, because you're not even sending it out till March or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I just wanted to make sure I had my alignment straight.
Well, and two, when we look at the program alignment maps that they're going to be, using as their resource guide, those alignment dates are always a fall semester. We've kind of just stuck with that. And even if it gives them more than a year to realign, we still go ahead and stick with the fall date, since that's when, college catalogs and their degree maps and often have been updated.
Great. Thank you.
Any additional questions, Cindy? Or all right. Well, Crystal, thank you. I guess we'll kick this can down the road to the discussion agenda on September 26th.
Sounds good. Thank you.
And I don't think we have any additional items, do we, Charmin?
No,
All right.
sir, we do not.
All right. So just as a reminder, I mentioned the October 7th, or I mentioned the September 26th TEA meeting. I think it's virtual. And then our next committee meeting will be October 17th, if my memory is correct. So perfect. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Seth, for joining us. Hopefully Jim's got his car fixed. Thanks, Mark and Cindy. I'll see you guys on the 26th.